Yeah, Coach. The Lions. Just looking at some of the matchups.
Hmm.
The interior of the ball on both sides. Looks like
Yeah,
that's going to be a good
yeah,
battle for
and
you.
they've invested in there, and then I think they got one of the better centers in the league in Ragnow. Tougher than hell. Got a lot of respect for him. The whole line, they play hard. I think Hank Franley does a great job coaching them. I think they certainly, they got some good schemes, gap schemes they run, the zone stuff. They do a nice job. Use their tight ends well. St. Brown, he's a problem. Guys, lines up all over the place. And then of course, with Josh Reynolds been playing well for him. They got a lot of good players. Laporta has become a good security blanket for golf. I mean, they got a good team, and then of course, Khalif, who I know really well from right down the road. Khalif made some big plays for him and a good returner. And then defensively, they structured. They're big inside, they're heavy-handed. And then on the edge, they do a good job, hard charging Hutchinson, Harris. Old Johnny, he'll be geeked up. He'll be in there in the mix. He'll be geeked up, ready to go. Love coaching Johnny, but he's done a nice job there. And then the backers, right? They roll the backers. Barnes, tough. Let's go hands alone. He's smart. Jack Campbell, highly, highly instinctive player. Guy had 1 million tackles in college. I know they're a little bit they beat up on the back end, but they play well. They're smart, well coached. All those guys. So it's going to be a unique challenge. They got good special teams. It'll be a loud environment. We know they'll be ready to go. We know that, we got to have our mind right. We need to play really well. We're going into a extremely loud environment, and it'll be a fun challenge for us.
And the rookie running backs will be focused too.
Yeah, they're different players. Good player, right? Gibbs, he's from local, that Tech.
Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton, Georgia. Shout out to Dalton, Georgia from D-Led. Stopped there a few times, good place, get gas. What's your favorite stop there, D-Led?
It's a Kroger up there.
Kroger. I was thinking you're going to say like,
Yeah, they got
some.
the good chicken at that.
I thought you were going to say like Chick-fil-A. Kroger. I never thought to stop there. I didn't go that far venturing there to Dalton, Georgia. So anyways, Gibbs a terrific player. Good player at Tech, good player at Bama, speed guy. That's the surface easy comp. But when you want to actually watch the tape, look different, completely different players. Good player. That's why they drafted him. But him and Bijan are completely different players. Different style runners, different skill sets. They use them different ways, but it's just never the same. That's why I think sometimes comparisons are ridiculous. But obviously he's a good player for him. And then Montgomery, if he plays, David's a really good, tough running back.
The injuries that they have right now on their offensive line, it seems like
Yeah.
both their tackles are questionable. Is that how much you pay attention to that during the week?
I mean, look, you got to prepare for it. I mean, Decker's been a good player for him for a long time. Again, if you start worrying about who's not playing, you got to get a mindset that they're all going to play until they make them inactive on Sunday. We've all seen it. You guys have been around. We've all seen it. So, got to have a plan for everything. And like I said, they got good depth. Even when the other guys got to go in there, they do a good job. So they'll be ready to go. Everybody's dealing with something.
In terms of Jeff, CP,
Same thing. Those guys will be practicing today. See how the week goes. See what the plan's like. Just like they've been practicing. So the only guy that won't will be Calais. I guess we technically put him on a rest day, but none of our guys rest. He's not resting in there. He'll be working, but doing alternative stuff as he deserves in his 16th year. We don't put the bucket hat and corny fake coach out there. Our guys work, so he'll be inside working. We'll have to put it down as rest.
in terms of Anderson, yeah, I don't know what call this
Still going through what we feel good about where Troy's at.
When you look at kind of their defensive scheme, has it, how much has it changed maybe from 2 years ago?
Yeah, everybody evolves. I mean, they have different secondary coaches. You evolve as a coach. Aaron Glenn's done a good job, and they've switched D-line coaches. Get different players, try to play their strengths. It's the same thing as like when people think that a guy comes from a certain spot, that there's like this reprinted playbook, maybe because of some production narrative or some guy's trying to sell himself about his defense or some asinine comment like that. When you get there, no different than us. Like people thought, oh, it's New Orleans. It's nothing like New Orleans. Dennis Allen, those guys have a completely different thing. He hires a secondary coach, they tweak year to year. Our coverage is completely different, our rules and the way we do things, and that's what it is. Same with the offenses. So you look at them defensively, it's just the style they want to play, right? You can play cover 3, but there's a lot of little variations. And so, in quarters is probably the most misunderstood on the surface than anybody. And every team, they want to play it. Well, they want to get up here and use rigid old playbook rules and think that's what people are doing. No, the NFL evolves. The way people want to play combination, they want to play quarters, they want to match up bunches, stacks, motions, jet motions. How do you want to play it coming across? So that's our job as coaches, to evaluate the film. And sometimes it's easy for, a small character or a TikTok video to say this is the defense they're getting. It's not. And they play to the strengths of their scheme, and they got a lot of good players.
When it comes to, you mentioned Bijan and Gibbs, 2 talented players, but also very different.
Yeah.
So what is different between the both of them?
Well, they're built completely different. Gibbs is a fast speed guy. The run schemes are completely different. The way they run, call it zone, but everybody's got their own little nuances on zones. We know he gets on the perimeter. He's got speed. He ate up a lot of yards at Alabama doing that. That's what I'm saying. They don't run routes the same, but they're both great players.
You mentioned getting ready for the environment up there. The fact that you've been here in Atlanta for 4 or 5 weeks in a row now without having had to travel, is there any special preparation that you would make going on the road because of that?
I mean, look, we've got a lot of guys, as young as we are, that have experience. And certainly we've haven't traveled in over a month, but that's like I said, whether they make the schedule, it's our job to adjust and to make the best of it. And so again, been fortunate to be here, fortunate to get to win at home. We're going to go to a tough environment. They've done a good job. I mean, that crowd, it was they were rocking. Seattle probably thought they felt for the first time what it feels like when people go out there. Seattle did a nice job handling it, but they'll be geeked up, ready to go. I'm sure they'll have all the Detroit stars from the past. Maybe we'll get the bad boys out there, get some old Red Wings players, see what they're up to, and not to make you too nostalgic. Maybe Dick LeBeau will have a showing. I bring Dick back to go up there and relive him in Night Train Lane. Yeah, goes to Sparky Anderson. We'll see, right?
Coach, the last 2 weeks, you've seen kind of 2 rookie quarterbacks this week. Goff is obviously a little bit more seasoned and been around. He's probably seen everything.
Yeah, he has. He's played at a high level for a long time, been in a lot of big games. Good player, live arm. That's what people love about him coming out. I always love when the guy's the number 1 pick and they act like some kind of reclamation project. This guy's a pretty damn good player. Pretty good player for the Rams. It's been pretty damn good for Detroit. Can make any throw. It's our job to make things hard for him. Easier said than done, but he's done a really nice job in Detroit. Ben Johnson, former college sheet in my mind, done a really good job. Like I said, they got good coaches, good players, and it fits what they're doing schematically.
I know y'all obviously turned the page on Sunday, but I was going back through some notes and I saw where Bijan said in the locker room afterwards that when Dez threw the interception, he was watching how he reacted. Why are those moments important for these guys?
Because I think they're real human emotions, right? That tells you a lot. I mean, I think how you handle stressful moments, it's easy if you're a front runner and things are going your way, but that's not the way a game in the NFL is going to have its ups and downs. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be things out of your control that may make the end result negative, whether it was your fault or not. And everybody's going to handle a little bit of failure when you're playing at this level and you've got the best of the best out there. So the guys that make it a long time, the ones that can shake that stuff off, you miss a block, you miss a tackle, something bad happens, can you get back? Or does that person go in the tank and then they're done for? And that's the stuff that gets exposed. I can say whatever I want, but these players that are actually out there, they watch the same tape and they really know what's what. And so that's probably why he was telling you that.
How can coming off a close win like Tuesday just help the team going into even just week 3 and having it so early, being able to have the confidence that you guys can?
Well, most games are close. We were in a lot of close games last year with a lot of guys. I mean, they understand. I think with the young guys, I think guys that come from the really successful programs, they get jaded. I don't want to call out certain colleges because somebody will be outraged. I know it's we've, monetized outrages of society. And so fortunately some of that successful you guys have to deal with. You're trying to get your own content out there. So hopefully y'all are, can remove yourself. But in all seriousness, like if I say certain college that you put on the schedule, they start putting the walk-ons out there. Like that's not going to happen in the NFL. So when you're rolling as a program and you may be in 8 games where they're blowouts and, and then you got 4 tough ones. I mean, every week in the NFL it usually comes down to possession here or there or a critical situation late in the half or third down or red zone or whatever it is. It's just, that's the stress week in and week out. So whether it was a close game or not, like the final score, I mean, most of the games are all close. So, our focus has to be, whether you have success or failure, is to get back and do you really have that objective mindset to improve? And that's what we have to do.
Do you have any discussions as a coach even, I mean, I know obviously you didn't play against Chubb or anything like that, but when you see such a gruesome injury like that happen to a player, do guys talk about it? Or even do you think it makes a better case just for what the running backs are trying to ask for in the league? I know it's a tricky question, but.
Oh, I mean, I think it's really, you talk about surface narratives, Jesus Christ. I mean, if people actually objectively looked at positions, let's do a little digging on the return on investments at other positions too. It's really unfortunate. He's an incredible player. It's unfortunate things like that happen in any position. You hate it. It disgusted me to see Shaq Thompson go down, to be honest. He's one of the guys I respect. As a division opponent and their opponent, and we try to, every time you play them, they're your adversary, but there is a healthy respect for the people that respect this game as players that are actually out there and coaches. You never want to see it, but I'm not going to get on some hot take show right now, but I would probably challenge people to let's look a little harder. Let's look at these return on investments and let's see if it's who has impact on what team.
Through the first 2 games, when it comes to Bijan, take the stats and everything away, when you're assessing film of him, what's been particularly impressive about what he's been able to do?
It's been effective, but it's a combination of a lot of things. Look, that's why we drafted him. We had a belief in how he fit our program. There's a lot of great players. You can't take them all in the draft. And you'll never know if it's truly a fit or not, right? That's always the thing. Whether you look at it as opportunity cost or, at the time while you made the decisions, and that's what you're trying to do. And you're trying to make sure you've got the right setup when you invest like that. He's done a nice job so far. But again, this league's going to make it hard for you. They're going to take away what you do well. And if you don't continually improve and adapt, you'll get stale and you'll get humbled. And then when somebody has success, again, he's done a nice job. And that's, again, we're excited about him. But there's a lot of things we do, maybe it's in the run game, that we need the receivers help on. Certainly we put a lot on the quarterback, or we need lines help on. So there's a lot that goes into our run game. And certainly he has a unique ability. But again, teams get more film on him. They're going to try to make you counter. And so that's our job as coaches and his job as a player to never get satisfied.
To that point, when you're talking about evolving and everything like that, how much does Bijan's just own personal versatility allow you to evolve in what you do as well?
It's not just his versatility, but the versatility of the other guys. So we got a lot of versatile players. So it all fits together, because if it's just him, then it becomes easy. It's just like, hey, look, their scout team will have a big orange or red jersey with his number on it, and they'll have a plan. So if you're obvious and you only have one person, it makes it a lot easier to fit once people get the book on you. So that's, again, a credit to his teammates. And again, it's on him if he has the right mindset, which I wholeheartedly believe he does, to not get satisfied. It's the same thing as coaches. Like, you can't ride the roller coaster up and down and not look at this thing as like, we better, with an urgency, come in and get better every week and improve.
How long does it take for opponents to start getting that book, to start figuring it out, where you have to start figuring it out?
Again, every game I've been a part of is different. The team, what their philosophy are, they're all different, but it's a National Football League. The games that go on inside, the small minutia that would be really boring, probably to most people, the things that people spend time on, cadences, get off time, the D-line games, pressure, the coverage disguise. I mean, how they want to fit this run, they want to play this motion. I mean, there's so many details, and that's the fun part about the National Football League. I think that's why, to me, and again, certainly I'm biased, why it's the most popular sport and it's growing. And hopefully, we'll get to next week, but there's a reason why I think it's growing as fast as it is internationally in popularity, because it's really it's really a game for all, if you really think about it. Whether you love the kicking game, right, and that fascinates you. Just the job that Liam McCullough has that nobody's going to appreciate, right, unless you're special teams. I can't even know what to call it. I was going to say special teams nerd, but right, guru. So if you snapping or in the holding, the ability that like a pinion does, and guys that you had that are, again, that so much operation goes with it. The way they try to rush, I'm sure now, because New England runs the guy across, it's a copycat league. I'm sure somebody's going to try it. May not work as well. And that'll keep a lot of these special teams coordinators who are, they're looking for every little detail. And then it goes down the D-line, the O-line. Like I said, all the little things that come on, your stances that people study, splits. So it is definitely a thinking person's game. And I don't think these guys and football players get enough credit, right? You've got their perimeter guys that are unbelievable world-class athletes. You've got defensive backs that play at an elite level, basically doing everything your body has told you not to do and going backwards. Right, the skill level of, to catch the ball, the running, the blocking, things that change the decision-making. I could go on and on and on and ever, but I don't think football ever gets enough credit for how smart these guys have to be.
How much of a factor has roster depth kind of played into what you're able to do? And I don't just mean next man up for a guy filling in for somebody who goes down, but you have options at so many different positions that you can utilize their skill sets, and it seems like your roster depth is better than in recent seasons. How much has that kind of helped you as a coach and as a team as you navigate through this?
Look, you're going to be dealing with something. No matter if you think you've got the best roster on paper or D-Led's got his depth chart perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Things are going to come up. Things happen. That's our job to problem solve. I've never been one that I think it's BS when somebody takes a victim mentality that they're helpless. Yeah, you may be at a disadvantage. Nobody cares. So you just try to find the best way you can to try to help your team win that week and come up with a plan. Right? That's what our job is.
Yeah, Coach, what do you got to see from Jeff to be able to push that button this week?
Yeah, well, a couple things, right? Make sure not just physically but mentally healthy, feel good. When you've been out for about a month, it's hard to go from 0 to 100. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but certainly trending in the right direction. Same with CP.
Can you feel his sense of wanting to play though? Because he said last week that he's had this game circled.
Yeah, I think those guys, if you have the right guys, they all want to be out there. So that's a good problem to have.
Anything else?
All right. Thank you.